And this is a very, very expensive blunder. What does this mean for Citigroup now?
Yeah, it's very costly, to your point. And I think the next step for Citi is really going to be appealing. So they were pretty adamant today that they still believe that they are going to be able to get this money back. They're going to appeal this case and fight to get the funds that they think are rightfully theirs. And yeah, I mean, it was a really embarrassing blunder, mistakenly spending almost $1 billion out to these angry hedge funds, and not being able to get all of it back, and kind of having to go hand in hand and ask these guys to please give their money back, and being told no in some cases.
What are the lasting effects, if any, for the banking industry?
I think it'll be interesting to see how this changes the way banks think about the administrative agent role. So what was unusual about this case was that Citi wasn't actually a lender to Revlon, and really it was just playing this middleman role between all of these asset managers and between Revlon. And it just mistakenly sent this money out and ended up paying off this loan. And I think it'll be interesting to see how banks kind of view this middleman role, if it comes with too much risk, given that they weren't successful in this initial trial. It'll be interesting to see how they deal with that.
But Jenny, some hedge funds, though, did voluntarily pay Citi back, right?
Yeah, that's right. So it was about $900 million that Citi sent out the door, and they got roughly $400 million of that back. So it'll be interesting as well to see how those guys actually feel. They probably in their minds did the right thing and sent this money back to Citi after they got the notification from the bank that it had accidentally sent out these funds. But now it's a big question of, what happens to the amount they've already been given? What happens to that outstanding $500 million loan? Who owns that? Who's responsible for getting Revlon to pay them back? There's a lot of questions that, even with this latest development in this case, that we still don't quite know the answer to.
Jenny, have there been steps or processes put in place to avoid this kind of thing from happening? I mean, yes, it is sort of a pretty shocking one-off event, but have there been any internal changes?
Yeah, I think, Citi has talked a lot about how this happened right as they were in the middle of switching over, actually, the software that they use to process these types of payments. So they've acknowledged that even before this event happened, that they were already trying to make things better and more tech savvy. So I think, that will still happen and certainly continue. And regulators have really been on the bank to do a better job with, maintaining better internal controls and fixing some of the deficiencies that they've cited.